Yeah.
Okay, and what happened with Melinda, if you don't mind us going through that, Melinda?
Yeah, so Melinda has been in probably the last 2.5 years or so. Yeah, it would have been fantastic to treat her through that era. And looking at that footage, it just brings a tear to your eye to see it, and I suppose it even more so for Mel. But yeah, just mechanically, all the little soft tissue issues that were there with Mel, that, I mean, as you all know, palpatory-wise, give you little indicators of what's going on with the joints, and there were lots of little things there that needed to be sorted out. You know, there's a big history of a big knee problem there. There's a tibial tuberosity that's pretty much not attached.
Which I never knew till recently.
Yeah, which is amazing. But so there's a lot of issues there to train to a level, but also keep the balance within the leg musculature, which no wonder a hard orthotic affected it because of all the stress going through those, particularly I suppose tibialis anterior into that insertion point. Well, of course it's going to aggravate it.
Well, let's talk about that. Was Melinda wearing hard orthotics, and was Steve, were you in orthotics as well at that stage?
No, Steve never had any, did you, before that?
So how did the orthotics happen for Melinda? Did you use a foot leveler scanner?
Yeah, did the scanner, and you probably flicked the hard orthotics years before that, hadn't you? Yeah,
just came up from ages ago. Was not a fan at all.
Yeah, so it was a bit of a convince there to try and get that happening.
So when you got into the foot levelers, what happened then?
Well, I went from running 200 metres to 17 kilometres. No. Look, I was very scared, I have to admit, because I have had hard orthotics before, even in my joggers and also into my spikes. And they just caused so many problems for me. It just seemed to create a new injury. So when I came to David and he checked me out, we'd done all the scans, and I said to him that I would now like to be able to run longer distances because I just really enjoy it. I just love doing it. I'm doing fun runs. You know, it's just a new thing for me to do, a new goal. He said, Mel, look, you really do need these foot levelers. And I said, oh, Dave, not feeling good about orthotics. And he goes, you have to trust me. And because he has made such a difference for my body, generally, I thought, okay, I will trust you. And it has made a massive difference. And I even now, wearing them, I just feel like, you know, that I'm a new woman. And my knee does not hurt anymore, which is, touch wood, I should try and do it. It's just been fantastic, and that's just a relief within itself to not be any pain anymore.
And Melinda, who knows what might have been had you been introduced to those earlier?
Oh, look. Yes, exactly. No, but it's true. That is so true. I mean, when you're, and you probably, people who are dealing with elite athletes, you do want to have the best. You want to, and that's why, and we were saying to the going into the Olympics, like our Australian track and field team never had a chiropractor. And I don't know why we didn't. I mean, we had a lot of physios, we had a lot of masseurs. You know, we should have had a chiropractor, and I think that it would have made a massive difference, and that's why.
You know the statistic we got last night? No chiropractor on the Australian Olympic team, but the Australian Olympic team has 10 horse chiropractors.
Oh, there you go. That's no good to me, is it?
Perhaps if you stamped your foot and
Absolutely.
And tell me, Stephen, what happened with you with foot levelers and scanning? Was this all a new experience?
Yeah, it was. It's obviously I was seeing Dave, and I had I don't know what it's called. My Achilles was sore. Yeah, it was sore, and someone else had tried to put me in the hard ones, and they were really high in the arch. I was hearing what they were saying before. I got blisters and threw them out straight away, and Dave sort of said, you know, have a go at these foot levelers. And I was the Achilles were pretty bad, so I probably had them about 5 months. I wear them in my boots and runners. I've got a couple other pair of shoes that I don't really change them over. They're pretty snug. But probably about the last 8 weeks, my Achilles have really settled down. So it probably took 6 or 7 weeks to sort of wear them in and really start taking effect. But since then, it's been really good. The physio doesn't know I've got them in. I had to tell the doctor, Snoop, I said, I got this mate, and he's getting me these these orthotics, because he'd sort of had his pair in there, and I said, I'm just going to try these ones. And so he wasn't too bad. He was a bit sceptical at first, but if anyone knows that physio, don't tell him.
And I guess we'd better ask the doctor if he prescribed these stabilisers. Do you have them too, David?
Absolutely, yep. Got them in right there. All our staff had message. One, our newest practitioner, Clinton, he's still got to get fitted for them, so that's one thing we've got to do. But yeah, we all use them running around a day in the office because we're obviously on our feet all day. and any of our different sports and that, we transfer them over, and some of us, I've got a couple of pairs, a couple of different sorts, yeah. I'll be interested to hear what Wayne says, because he's only had his in for 7 days now. Wayne turned up, he's been a patient for a long time, Wayne, but he's got 2 pairs of hard orthotics. So it was interesting to see on his scan that the lateral arch, you would have noticed that up there, wouldn't you, Wayne, was pretty much dead flat, but a full, hard orthotic through there. And they were quite good, weren't they, your hard ones? So it's going to be interesting to see how he goes.
You might like
6 months.
Prescribe and offer care for everybody, just from the armchair, feel free.
Yeah.
But before we go, final closing words. All the best in UK. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, no, looking forward to it. It's going to be a sad time being at Manly for so long. I'm definitely going to miss the place. I'll be back. So off to the cold weather and Bradford, but yeah, just looking forward to a new challenge and another albeit small chapter in my life.
What price the grand final? Quietly confident?
Yeah, no, we're cruising along good. We had if anyone follows the footy, we had a little bit of a hiccup, not last week, the week before, but we're back on the horse, and that that wasn't the best. And some of the guys that are training that week sort of said, we're lucky that we play rugby league and we get to play next weekend, and that's all forgotten. These are Olympians and things like that. They come through once every 4 years, or Commonwealth Games and stuff. It must be tough for them. We got to wait 7 days, and it's hard enough. But really appreciate for inviting me along. That's all I'll say. Thank you.
This has been the Steve Mezies hour. Now tell me, Melinda.
Very funny.
Reactions to the Olympics. How did you think the Aussie track and field team did this year?
Look, I was very proud of them because going into the Olympics, the expectations weren't all that high for our track and field team. And it's really difficult when you come off from the swimmers, because they're so extraordinary and do unbelievably well. But I think for us it was difficult because Jana Rollinson, who I have to get today, but that's a whole other story, but she had to end up pulling out of the Olympics, and she was a potential gold medalist. And then we had Nathan Deeks as well, who was a potential gold medalist because they both won the World Championships last year. So the expectations weren't that high, but when Jared Talent came in first on the second day of track and field and ended up winning a bronze medal, and then later on in 50k walk, won a silver medal, that was extraordinary, because you can imagine any of us even walking 50k's is amazing, just let alone try to race walk it. But then also Sally McClellan. Now, she's a breath of fresh air. Young girl, 21 years old, who came out in those hurdles and got the silver medal. And she's a really huge, she has a huge future. In actual fact, I'm pretty sure she'll be the one that's going to break my Australian record very soon. She nearly did it last year. So it could be in the next couple of weeks, actually. But it's really good for our sport that we have these young ones coming through. And of course, we can't forget Steve Walker. Did you all enjoy Steve Walker? Oh, he was amazing. Those 3 jumps, and it was so entertaining to watch. It was so nerve-wracking. But he left it to the 3rd jump every time. And then he finally got it. And I was just thinking when he was coming up for his last one, where he already won the gold medal, he was going for the Olympic record, and the whole crowd was just cheering for him. And then when he actually nailed it, that was a real highlight. I thought it was fabulous.
And you've nailed it for us, Steve.
Oh, thank you.
That's great. And a final word.
I'd just like to thank these 2 guys and Wayne himself for coming along tonight, supporting chiropractic too. Athletes like these are a pleasure to treat, and you can see they're great guys and girls. And I think there'll be a good exponent out there for our profession. Hopefully we can get more people out there pushing the cause that we know what we're doing.
And a true exponent of the profession as well, Dr. David Stephen. Would you thank our people? Just take the microphone back. You can stay there, those two. Look, we're going to take a